Hello, class. I will be taking up the fourth lecture today for the subject surveying. In the previous class, we have discussed about the errors in chain and we discussed two numericals. Let us revise those two numericals once again to grow your concept. The question stated that the length of a line measured with a 20-meter chain was found to be 250 meters. Calculate the true length of the line if the chain was 10 centimeter too long. Now, there are two types of chain length. One is the original chain length, which is wrong, and one should be the correct chain length, which should be the correct length. So here 20 is the standard, 20 meter is the standard chain length. As discussed earlier, that chains are in the form of 10 meter, 20 meter, 30 meter, 50 meter. So 20-meter chain is a standard length of chain. Whereas in the question itself, it is stated that the chain was found to be 10 centimeter too long. So now the actual length of the chain, which was incorrect on the ground, that chain length has to be found out. Now, incorrect length of the chain will be equal to 20 meter. That is the standard length of the chain, and due to it is 10 centimeter too long, you will have to convert it into the meter. So 10 centimeter when converted into meter will be 0.1 meter. So total incorrect length will be 20 meter plus 0.1 meter, and the total incorrect length will be 20.1 meter. With the help of this wrong chain, you measured a total distance of 250 meters. Now this distance which you got 250 meter will be the wrong measured length, just because your length of the chain was not true. Hence, the measured length is the false length. So we will take it as small l dash. The measured length small l dash will be equal to 250 meters. To calculate the true length of the line, you have a formula: small l is equal to small l dash bracket capital L dash divided by capital L, where small l is the true length of the line, small l dash is the total length you measured with the wrong chain, capital L dash is the wrong chain length, and capital L is the true chain length. So small l dash will be 250 meter, capital L dash will be 20.1 since it is the wrong chain length, divided by capital L, which is the true chain length. We all know it is 20 meter in the question. So it will be 250 into 20.1 divided by 20. You will get 251.25 meters. Now this 251.25 meters is the true length of the line. Since the chain was too long, we got an answer which was previously less than 251.25. Hence, the correction made will be in the form of addition. So we will have to add 1.25 meters to avoid the error. Next question was the length of the survey line was measured with a 20-meter chain and was found to be equal to 1200 meters. As a check, the length was again measured with a 25-meter chain and was found to be 1212 meters. On comparing the 20-meter chain with the test gauge, it was found to be 1 decimeter too long. Find the actual length of the 25-meter chain used. Now in this question, we have two different chains. One is 20-meter chain and the other is 25-meter chain. with the 20-meter chain, we measured 1200 meters and it was found to be 1 decimeter too long. Its original length is found to be 20.10 meter. So the question here is to find the actual length of the 25-meter chain, whether it is short or it is long or is it true in length. So we have to find out that. Starting with the solution, with a 20-meter chain, the data is given that for a 20-meter chain, when checked, it was found to be 1 decimeter too long. 1 decimeter is 10th part of 100. So it will be 0.10 meter. So the total faulted length of the chain would be 20 plus 0.10 is equal to 20.10 meter. Now, the measured length was 1200 meters. Since the chain is too long, there would be a change in the total length measured. So to find out, we have the formula small l is equal to small l dash bracket capital L dash upon capital L. So small, what is a small l? It is the true length of the total line measured. We have to find out that small l dash is the length you have measured of the line, the fault length which you have measured. In the question, it is given 1200 meters. Now, all that these dash notations show that either the chain is faulty or the length measured is faulty. Wherever you see this small l dash or capital L dash, this dash signifies that this is the wrong length of the chain or the length of the line. And the notations without a dash, that is a small l or capital L, shows the true length of the line or the true length of the chain. So small l dash will be the wrong measurement taken. It is 1200 meters into L dash is the wrong chain length, which is 20.10 meter, divided by the true chain length, that is 20 meter. So after calculating, we will get 1206 meter as the true length of the line. Now the question is still the same. We have to find out the actual length of the chain, which is 25 centimeter long. So why did we follow this step? The main reason was to find out the true length of the line. We will again use the same formula since it was the same length was measured with a 25-meter chain. So the true length will never change. We have got the true length of the line as 12.06, 1206 meter. So keeping the same formula with a 25-meter chain, this time small l will be 1206 is equal to L dash. Now what is L dash? It is the fault chain length which we don't know, and this is the only thing what question is asking you. So it will be kept as it is L dash divided by capital L. What is capital L? It is the original or the true length of the chain, which is 25 meter, into small l dash. Now this small l dash is the length measured which is having a fault. So 1212 meter is the value. After calculating, we will find out that capital L dash, which is the fault length of the chain, which is equal to 24.88 meters. Now the original length or the true length of the chain is 25 meter. Now what we have got is 24.88 meter. Hence the chain is too short. And by how much amount? We will subtract 25 by 24.88. Hence the result will be 25-meter chain was 12 centimeter too long. So this is how you find out when you use a different chain for the same length of the field. Now the next question, and this is a good question. A 20-meter chain was found to be 10 centimeter too long after chaining a distance of 1500 meters. So a 20-meter chain was used and it was found to be 10 centimeter too long. It is a faulted chain and giving a faulted value of 1500 meter. Full stop. It was found to be 18 centimeter too long at the end of the day. Initially, it was 10 centimeter too long. After conducting the survey, it was found to be 18 centimeter too long after the completion of the work, and the distance measured was 2000 meters. Now the question is, find the true distance if the chain was correct before the commencement of the work. So the question is stating that when the survey was conducted, the chain was correct. All lengths were true. During the process of surveying, due to the pull, as we perform the survey, the chain is pulled. So after pulling the chain, it got elongated. For the first 1500 meters, it got elongated by 10 centimeter, and after 1500 to 2000 meters, it got 18 centimeter elongated. So the question is, find the true distance. What is the true distance? Since these 1500 meter and 2000 meters are not the right readings. Uh, sorry, there is a misprint. That is not 2000 meters. It is 29. It is 2900 meters. So there is a correction. A total distance of 2900 meters. So looking at the solution for the first 1500 meters, we know that there is a change of 10 centimeter too long. So initially the question stated that there was no correction, hence average error has to be calculated. Since at the time of the commencement of the work, when the uh, survey was conducted, initially there was no fault in the chain. So the initial error was 0. And after completing 1500 meters, it got 10 centimeter too long. So what will be the average error? The average error E will be 0, the initial error, plus 10, the final error till 1500 meter, and divided by 2. It will be 5 centimeter, and that is 0.05 meters. So the false chain length will be L dash is equal to 20 plus 0.05, that will be equal to 20.05 meters. Hence L1, what is L1? The true line length will be equal to 20.05, which is the false chain length, divided by 20, which is the true chain length, into the false uh, measurement taken by the chain, which is 1500 meter. So it will be equal to 1503.75. Since the chain was too long, we got the reading more than 1500 meters. So the corrected length is 1503.75 for the first 1500 meters. For the next 1400 meters, because the total distance measured at the end of the day was 2900 meter, we will subtract 1500 meters from here, and the remaining will be 1400 meters. So now after this 1500 meters, there was an error of 1800, and before 1500 meters it was 10 centimeter. So an average error here has to be calculated again. Average error E is equal to 10, which is the initial error for this 1400 meter, plus 18 centimeter, which is now been found at the end of the day, divided by 2, will be equal to 14 centimeter, which is equal to 0.14 meters. So the chain length, which is false, will be equal to L dash is equal to 20 plus 0.14 is equal to 2014 meters, 20.14 meters. Hence, L2 will be the fault or the false chain length, which is 20.14 divided by the true chain length, which is 20, into the false reading of the total line, which is 1400 meters. So we will get a value more than 1400 meters, and it is equal to 1409.80 meters, which is again more than 1400 meters. The chain was found to be too long. Now, L1 is the true line length for the first task, and L2 is the true line length for the second task. So the total length, which is true, which is the true distance, the total true distance, will be equal to L1 plus L2, and which is equal to 1503.75 meters plus 1409.80, and a final result of 2913.55 meter you will get. So in these types of question where the error gets changed after some time, so we use the average error concept. If the error was constant throughout, we should have not used this average error concept. But since the initial error was 0, after some time it got 18 centimeter too long, and after some time further it got 18 centimeter too long. So we will have to calculate the average, since we don't know the actual error at what time this error got occurred. So average error concept comes here into the play, and you will solve the numerical likewise. Now, coming on to the next numerical, a 20-meter chain used for a survey was found to be 20.10 meter at the beginning and 20.30 meter at the end of the work. The area of the plan drawn to a scale of 1 centimeter is equal to 8 meter was measured with the help of a planimeter and was found to be 32.56 square kilometer. Find the true area of the field. Again here, since the chain is showing a false value of the chain length, the area will automatically will be wrong. So in this question, they are saying that you had two different chain lengths, 20.10 meter in the beginning, and at the end of the work it was 20.30 meter. So since it is similar to the previous question, we have two different chain lengths at two different instances at the beginning and at the end of the work. The concept of average length of the chain will come into act. So looking at the solution, average length of the chain will be calculated, which will be 20.10 plus 20.30 divided by 2, and an average length of the chain will be 20.20 meters. Now, the area of the plan which you got by using the wrong chain is 32.56 square centimeter on the paper. So on the area on the ground now will be 32.56 into. Now just look at the scale where stands for 8 meter. So when we will convert this paper reading onto the ground, we will have to multiply for area. We will have to multiply the square for the area. So the area of the ground will be the area of the plan into the area of the scale used. So area of the plan is 32.56 and area of the plan will be 8 meter by 8 meter, which is equal to 2083.84 square meters. Now this is a square meter and 32.56 was square centimeter. Now we know that we have converted this plan area to the ground area. Now this ground area is not the actual area. It is the area which is at fault. So what we will do is we will find out the true area by the formula discussed before, and it is similar to the chain length formula. It is true area A is equal to L dash upon L whole square into A dash. A is the true area, L dash is the chain length which is faulty, capital L is the true chain length, A dash is the wrong area calculated. So the wrong chain length is 20.20, the true chain length is 20. We will square it them and we will multiply it with the wrong area. So the true area will be 2125.73 square meters. And we have an alternative. We have a formula. A is equal to 1 plus 2e into A dash. We have already discussed this formula, where E is the ratio of change in length upon original length. So the change in length is 20.20 minus 20 divided by the original chain length, which is 20. So 0.01 is the value of E. We just have to put this E in the formula, and A dash is the wrong area calculated. You can also get the value of true area from this formula also. Okay. Now coming on to the errors in chain, I will discuss uh, in a few moments. There are errors in chain which are erroneous length of chain, bad ranging, and carelessness folding and marking, bad straightening, the straightening of chain. After that, we have non-horizontal teeth, we have sag in chain, we have variation in temperature, we have this variation in pull, and personal mistakes. So we will discuss them one by one. What do they mean? And let's start with erroneous length of chain or tape. So first of all, it is a cumulative error, which may be positive or negative. So the erroneous change in length of the chain may be positive or negative. The error due to the wrong chain length of the chain is always cumulative. You have to remind this, that it is always cumulative and is the most serious source of error. If the length of the chain is more, the measured distance will be less and hence the error will be negative. Similarly, if the chain is too short, the measured distance will be more and the error will be positive. However, it is possible to apply proper correction if the length is checked from time to time. For this, you have to check the change in length from time to time. Coming on to the bad ranging, it is also cumulative in nature, and most of the time it is positive. If the chain is stretched out of the line, the measured distance will always be more, and hence the error will be positive. For each and every stretch of the chain, the error due to bad ranging will be cumulative, and the effect will be too great a result. So the nature is cumulative and the error is positive. The error is not very serious in ordinary work if only the length is required. But if offsetting is to be done, the error is very serious. In that case, you will have to look into the bad ranging concept. The third point is carelessness, holding, and marking. Now, this is also compensating in nature and it may be positive or negative. The follower may sometimes hold the handle to one end of the arrow and sometimes to the other side. The leader may thrust the arrow vertically into the ground or exactly at the end of the chain. This causes a variable systematic error. So the error or marking due to an inexperienced chain man is often of cumulative nature. It will keep on adding. But with ordinary care, such errors tend to be compensated. So this is not very alarming error, but you will have to keep it in mind. The next is bad straightening. It is cumulative, keeps on adding, and it is a positive error. If the chain is not straight but is lying in an irregular horizontal curve, you will have to straight it. The measured distance will always be too great or too long. The error is therefore of cumulative character and is positive. So you will always have to keep the chain straight while performing a survey. The next is non-horizontality. It is also cumulative in nature. It is again positive. If the chain is not horizontal, especially in the case of sloping or irregular ground, the measured distance will always be too great, like the previous one. The error is therefore of cumulative character and is positive. The next is sag in chain. What is sag? It is a type of negative hump created in the chain when not a proper pull is provided in the chain. When the distance is measured by stepping or when the chain is stretched above the ground due to undulation or what you say irregular ground, the chain sags and takes the form of a catenary. The measured distance is therefore too great and the error is cumulative and positive. So a sag should be avoided in the chain. A proper thrust or force should be applied to avoid this sag. Coming on to the variation in temperature, it is cumulative in nature. It may be positive or negative. And when a chain or tape is used at temperature different from that at which it was calibrated, its length changes, which means that a change in temperature changes the length of the chain or tape. Due to the rise in the temperature, the length of the chain increases. It will get expand. The measured distance thus less and the error becomes negative. Due to the fall in temperature, the length decreases. The measured distance is thus more and the error becomes negative. In either cases, the error is cumulative. It will go on increasing irrespective whether it is negative or positive, but it will continuously be in the system. Hence, it is cumulative in nature. Now, coming on to the pull, the variation in pull, it is compensating also and it is cumulative also. It may be positive or negative. If the pull applied in the straightening the chain or tape is not equal to that of the standard pull at which it was at which it was calibrated, its length changes. If the pull applied is not measured but it is irregular sometimes, more or less, then the error tends to compensate. A chainman may, however, apply too great or too small a pull every time, and the error becomes cumulative. So it's dual nature of compensating and cumulative uh, goes on in the system. The last one is the personal mistakes. Now, the personal mistakes always produce quite irregular effects. The following are the most common mistakes which I want to discuss. First of all, displacement of arrows. If the arrow is distributed from its position either by knocking or by pulling the chain, it may be replaced wrongly. To avoid this, a small cross must be marked on the ground while inserting the arrow so as to avoid any kind of problem. The next is the misconducting chain length. This is a serious blunder, but may be avoided if a systematic procedure is adopted to count the number of arrows. The next is misreading. A confusion is likely between reading a 5-meter tally or a 15-meter tally. Since both are of similar shape, the starting of the chain and the end of the chain will have the same tally mark. So there may be a confusion in the mind of this observer. Since they are of similar shape, it can be avoided by seeing the central tag. First, see the central tag, then see we are proceeding forward or we are going backwards. If we are going backward from this central mark tally, then it will be a 5-meter tag, and if we are going beyond that center mark, it will be a 15-meter tally. Sometimes a chainman may pay more attention on centimeter reading on the tape and read the meter reading wrong. So a proper presence of mind is required. A surveyor may sometimes read 6 in place of 9, or 28.26 in place of 28.62. We have already discussed this type of error. And the last is erroneous booking. What is booking? Booking is writing down the readings in a book to maintain the record. The surveyor may enter 246 in place of 264. To avoid such possibility, the chainman should first speak out the reading loudly, and the surveyor should repeat the same while entering in the field book, just to avoid the uh, problem of this personal mistakes. So coming on to the next slide, uh, well, I would like to discuss how we plot uh, the chain survey which we conduct on the ground. It will take like 5 to 10 minutes more to complete this uh, session. I would just read out a few things. Just listen to it carefully. That how we plot a chain survey. Generally, the scale of plotting a survey is decided before the survey is started. In general, the scale depends on the purpose of survey, the extent of survey, and the finances available. The plan must be so oriented on the sheet that the north side of the survey lines towards the top of the sheet, and it is centrally placed. The way to achieve this is to first plot the skeleton of a tracing paper and rotate it on the drawing paper. After having oriented it suitably, the points may be pricked through. To begin with, baseline is first plotted. The other triangles are then laid by intersecting of arcs. Each triangle must be verified by measuring the check line on the plan and comparing it with the measured length in the field. And if the discrepancy is not within the limits, measurements may be taken again. If it is less, the error may be adjusted suitably. Now, after having drawn the skeleton consisting a number of triangles, offsets may be plotted. There are two methods of plotting the offsets. In the first method, the chainage of the offsets are marked on the chain line and perpendicular to the chain line are erected with the help of a set square. While in the other method, the plotting is done with the help of an offset scale. A long scale is kept parallel to the chain line and a distance equal to half the length of the offset scale. The offset scale consists of a small scale having zero mark in the middle. The zero of the long scale is kept in line with the zero of the chain line. Chain edges are then marked against the working edge of the offset scale, and the offsets are measured along its edges. Thus, the offset can be plotted to both the sides of the line. So, this is how you plot a chain survey on the paper. So, this was about chain. The linear measurements are now over, and we will discuss the remaining part in our next lecture. So, class, that's all for the day. We'll meet you in the next lecture. Thank you, class.